The Minister for Youth and Sports, Mr. Mustapha Ussif, has assured the leadership of African Rugby of Ghana's readiness to assist them spread the game. The minister said he wants rugby to be played in every nook and cranny in the country, just like the game of soccer. He revealed this when the leadership of African Rugby called on him at his office in Accra. Ghana Rugby is unquestionably the most successful team sport in the country for the past 6 years, rising from a non-playing nation status to becoming a full member of World and Africa Rugby, and also becoming one of the highly ranked nations in the world and Africa. With Ghana hosting the 2023 African Games in May next year, and with rugby included as one of the disciplines for the Games, Government of Ghana is constructing the first rugby arena for the sport. When complete, the facility will be the new home for rugby, and teams and players will stop sharing football fields with footballers as it is the norm. Interacting with the Youth and Sports Minister, the leadership of African Rugby, led by its president, Mr. Betwensan, thanked the minister and the government of Ghana for their support in becoming the first president from an English-speaking country to occupy the top seat in Africa Rugby.
As president of Rugby Africa, I've taken the steps of also confirming with my dear brothers that we will also do everything that we can do to promote the All Africa Games next year. We will make sure that rugby comes a week or 2 weeks earlier so that matches can be played. We will bring in some of our communication links through RPO, that is links with Al Jazeera and all the major networks globally, to ensure that people really see what it is that we put together. And Africa Rugby will also make sure that John Bosco and anybody else that is required returns to Ghana before the opening ceremony date to facilitate in any way at all.
Officials from Africa Rugby, including the competition's manager, the president of the Burkina Faso and Togo Rugby Federations, urged the minister to use his good office to champion the development of the sport in the country. The Youth and Sports Minister, Mr. Mustapha Ussif, called for a greater collaboration. He appealed to the new leaders to make the sports more visible for the youth.
We want the game to be very, very accessible to our children, the youth of our country, and to do so, we want to make an appeal to the president of Rugby Africa and your team. Now you should also liaise with your network in the World Rugby to see what they can do to make the game accessible. One thing is having a facility, and another thing is people getting to know the game and people getting to be interested in playing the game. The most important ingredient when it comes to the game is the rugby ball. How do we get some of this ball to schools for children to be able to play? Like you said, John, that we can even use soccer field to start learning. So we can then start making sure that people have access to the game and get to know about the game. So that this huge investment that we are making will not become just a white elephant after 2023. We want to ensure that even after the African Games, there will be championship among the 16 regions that we have in Ghana on rugby.
Rugby Africa has promised to assist in the completion of the modern rugby arena situated at the University of Ghana, Legon.